Clear Efficiency, helping you get clear on the efficiency of your home. Okay, Jesus, I am up in the attic space right now, just taking a quick look around, seeing what it is that you have and seeing how it is that we might best be able to help you out here. So first and foremost, what we're looking at are the types of insulation that you have here on your attic floor. Right now you have 3 types of insulation, okay? The very, very bottom, I've unearthed a little bit here, but the very, very bottom stuff is a red cedar. Let me just get right down to it here. Okay. That's this red cedar. This is no longer in circulation. It is no longer used for insulation just because it's so dusty in nature and it was known to set off allergies like no one's business. Okay. On top of that, you have 2 other forms of insulation. 90% of it is the cellulose, in which I talked about, that used to be popular in the walls. Again, exceptionally dusty form of insulation. And known for compression, so I know that there was more in here at one point, but we do have bags of the stuff, literal bags of the stuff up here that are not being used and just piled up. Obviously we had a rodent at some point that did some damage, but we've got fecal matter and whatnot pretty much everywhere. They urinated on top of the duct. This duct is in rough shape due to what they've done. I'll point that out in just a moment right now, but we'll focus on the insulation currently. On top of those 2 types of insulation, you also have a wool type of insulation that's kind of sporadic. It's not everywhere, but it was kind of used as a filler. It's what is back there. But that's pretty simple, okay? That brings me to my second point, which is your levels. A little bit of fluctuation. More so here because all these bags are piled up over here, but things become very even once we get through here. So I'll move us over here and I'll show us a little bit more of this duct here. But this is where this unit comes down into the home, and we had a little bit of nesting here. So we had quite a bit of fecal matter here in this space here. Okay, so I'm going to take us just over here and I'll set my ruler up and you can see where you are at in relation to what code is asking for. Okay, so let's get on over here. This is a good spot too because it shows the electricity as well, so I'll pull that up in just a moment, but first I'm gonna get to the bottom. This stuff right here is the wool stuff that I was referring to. We're gonna get to the bottom here and we'll see what our insulation levels are. I'll put that down. Okay, so right now you guys are coming in just over that 3-inch mark, just in some areas a little closer to that 4-inch mark. Back here behind us it's closer to that 5-inch mark, but it's due to those bags there. Okay, just to put that in perspective, insulation is measured in R value. So at your 3 inches, you are at an R5. Okay, so pretty simple on that, R5. Just to put that in perspective, bare minimum code right now, bare minimum code is R38, 13.25 inches. This is where you need to be to have a fighting chance to be comfortable here in California and to not have your HVAC system running ridiculously amok. Okay, so that's pretty simple. That's code. Okay, and the very most insulation that you would put in the home for the maximum effective insulation is 20 inches at R60. Anything above this is what we call diminishing returns, which means you can double up to 40 inches. It won't do anything more for you than it will right here at this 20. But at the very least, we want to get you to code. So pretty simple on that. Okay. Now, you do have a dustier type of insulation, and you do have some fecal matter, but there is no law saying that you need to remove this. I'll show you an option to get rid of this dusty type of insulation, and then we can clean the space and fill it back in with new non-toxic, non-itch, non-dust insulation. That will be, you know, the best option. However, if you want to have a little bit of a less expensive option, we can simply blow in over the top of what you have and get you up to code. Okay, so I will certainly show you both options. Okay, one option to remove the dusty insulation and the fecal matter, the other option will build on top of where we're currently at right now. Just to put that all in perspective, insulation is done in increments. So the smallest increment is R19, the next is R30, R38, so on and so forth. You guys are at right now with an R5. Let's get to the bottom here. With where you're at right now with a R5, if I came in here and blew the increment of R30 over the top of your R5, 30 plus 5 is 35, and you're still not at code. So you guys are actually so low here that in order for you guys to get to code, I need to blow code over the top of what you have. And then when I blow that R38 over the top of that existing R5, that'll land you right here around this R43, pretty much R44 mark, okay? So pretty simple on that, and that will certainly help you out very, very easily, okay? Something else to address while we're up here, I noticed is your duck, okay? So we definitely, there was a rodent. There is certainly some fecal matter on the attic floor, but more importantly, the rodent was attracted to the heat that was happening up here at some point, and it burrowed its way inside your duct. And so it definitely worked its way on the inside, and it used this for traveling, it used this for home, it used this for a lot of things, but it busted on the inside of your air supply and was making a mess, and we're breathing the air that's happening there, okay? And that wasn't just in that one spot. He did the same thing right on over here as well. And so had an exit and an entrance here, but he was inside your duct for quite some time and made a mess, okay? The other end of that duct is actually what goes down into the home, and that one, you can see based on that white area, had been urinated on enough to the point where it actually split the duct, and then it allowed for the casing to be open, and so now it's a whole lot less efficient. So if you want an option for us to replace this duct as well when we come up to do this attic work, I can certainly show you that. If not, that's fine too, but I would strongly consider having that replaced with something new and not rodent run on the inside, okay? But that's pretty much it, Jesus. That's everything I'm looking at. That's just a few options to consider, in my professional opinion, sooner rather than later. Real quick secondary video before I jump out of the attic. I forgot the electrical in that last video, so I do have a little tester here. I'm going to turn her on, and we're going to test these lines. These ones right here leading over to these little white knobs are the knob and tube type of installation, and then this one down below would be what looks like to be our updated form. But as we see here, our knob and tube, I'm directly on it. We're not getting any action here. Knob and tube, I'm directly on it. No action here. But when I go down here, certainly some action there. Nothing here. Nothing here. Okay. So I do believe that the knob and tube is no longer active. Okay. We'll have Pre-Site come out to take a look for sure, but I believe the knob and tube is no longer active, and that the electrical has been updated to one of the newer forms, more safer form, okay? Again, that's pretty much it, Jesus. Like I said, just a few things to consider, my professional opinion, sooner rather than later. Thank you.